It's a hidden tool in Windows that IT pros completely overlook. It manages your apps faster than if you have to hunt them down on the internet. With this tool, installing new software is super simple. Updating is just one command, and you can even upgrade all of your applications in one go. All of that is built with automation in mind. So today, I'm going to show you how to use this application in 3 simple steps. Make sure you stay until the end because I will not reveal only one, but 2 bonus features which completely changed how I manage my applications. So I'm pretty sure that if it's changed something for me, it will hopefully also change something for you. Hey guys, I'm Stéphane. I'm former 8-time PowerShell MVP. I'm passionate about coding and I'm a PowerShell addict. On this channel, I help IT pros, system administrators, Linux and Windows power users to reduce the time they take to execute administration tasks by automating as much as possible. So the introductions have been done now, so let's dive right into it. So what is this magical tool I was referring in my intro? It's pretty simple. This tool is called Winget. Let's take a step back and explain quickly what Winget is and why you should have an interest in using Winget. Winget is a package manager specifically built for Windows. An application in the IT world is often called a package. A package manager is a tool that will allow you to manage your packages. The main specificity here is that a package manager is normally not a graphical tool. You use it using a CLI, command line interface. So you basically use them in your command prompt. Package managers have been present on Linux and macOS for quite some time. On macOS, that's Homebrew or Nix. On Linux, depending on the distribution, there is Yum, which has been renamed to DNF, or if you're on a Ubuntu type of distribution, you're gonna have apt-get. Officially, Microsoft never really gave much love to the topic of package managers. So some companies thought there was a need and they've built their own tool. So you can find a few third-party applications that exist for Windows package management. The most common ones are Chocolatey and Scoop. For some time now, Microsoft have been working on its own package manager, and it works for client and server operating systems. Now that this has been clarified, and before I jump into the advanced functionality of Winget, where it becomes really powerful, let's take a step back and let's explain the basics of how Winget actually works. First, Winget Basics. The Winget Basics can really be subdivided in 4 sub-steps, which we're going to go have a look at now. Functionality number 1, searching for packages. In order to search for an existing package, it is pretty simply open a PowerShell prompt and type winget search and then the name of a package that you would like to find. Winget search will list all the applications, all the packages that are available that correspond to this specific name. Notice also it shows the source from which the application or the package will be installed from. More importantly, most important property here is the ID. You will need this ID to do anything with it, installing, uninstalling, etc. Talking about installing, it's actually the step number 2, installing a package. In order to install a package, it's super simple. All you have to do is type winget install and then the name or actually the ID of the package that you would like to install. That's pretty easy, right? Functionality number 3, now you know how to install this application. You probably want to uninstall this application or another one in the future. For this, it is super simple. You just type winget uninstall and then the ID of the application you wish to uninstall. Easy, right? And by the way, if you like this type of content, it would mean the world to me if you could hit the like and the subscribe button so that the algorithm would push this method in front of other passionate people just like you and me. Basic functionality number 4, upgrading an existing package. So this feature is pretty cool. In order to upgrade a specific application, let's say NordVPN, we can first check if this application is available on my machine. This is done with the Winget upgrade command. When you execute the Winget upgrade command, it will list you all the applications that have a newer version available to them. You see, in this list, we have quite a few, and NordVPN is in that list. So in order to upgrade NordVPN to the latest version, it is pretty simple. You just type Winget upgrade -ID, and then you give him the ID of the package. So now if you have no time to lose and you wish to upgrade all of these applications in one shoot, that's actually possible. And this is where Winget really starts to be super, super, super powerful. You can do that simply by using Winget upgrade -all, and that will upgrade all of the applications that it showed in our Winget upgrade list. Some of you might ask, hey Stéphane, I want to upgrade all of my application except 1 or 2 or 3. Is that possible? Yes, it is. I'm glad you asked, and I'm going to show you this in the advanced features of Winget. Now let's dive into the 4 advanced commands that you definitely want to know if you want to bring your skills from Winget Basic to Winget Advanced. First advanced command, Winget pin. Sometimes there's an application you just don't want to upgrade because you know that the next version has a bug or for any other reason that is specific to your need. If you need to do that, I'm glad to say it is possible. And you can do that with Winget pin. The Winget pin command allows you to limit the Windows package manager from upgrading an application to the next or another version. It can prevent it from upgrading, or it can prevent it from installing or uninstalling altogether. The following example adds a pin on NordPass. Adding this pin will prevent the application from upgrading to the next version. When we call the command winget upgrade -all, the mechanisms to bypass this, if you still want to upgrade all the pinned applications, you can add -include pin, and it will automatically upgrade all the applications, even the ones that are pinned, when you use winget upgrade -all. If you really want to block this, you can add the --blocking to when you add a pin. So let's take a step back. I want to quickly explain to you the 3 methods that you can pin an application to. There's 1, pinning. When you pin only a package, the package is excluded from winget upgrade -all. You can still upgrade it if you use the --include pin. 2, blocking. If you add the --blocking to your pin command, your pinned application will not be able to be upgraded even if you add the include pinned applications. You can still bypass that one if you add the -force. And 3, there is gating. Gating is very interesting. Let's say you know that there's an application which has a specific version that has a bug, like the next one. You can pin an application on a specific version, and you can add a star on the major, minor, or patch of that application. And so don't forget that the basic pin command, if you use the --force here, it will be completely discarded. It's a bit confusing, right? Anyways, gating allows you to keep a version stable and still have this little wiggle room. And so if you want to get rid of all the pins that you've created, it's super simple. You just type winget pin reset, and it will remove all of the created pins. Advanced application number 2, winget info. Winget info will give you all the information about your Winget installation. This is where you find things like the version, the different Winget sources, the different Winget folders, the main admin folder name. Winget advanced feature number 3, Winget show. When you need to get detailed information about a specific application, you can use Winget show to see what and where this application comes from. It will tell you everything about the application, such as the version, who is the manufacturer, a link to its homepage. You can have a link directly to the executable, etc. Advanced feature number 4, Winget features. Winget comes with a component called experimental features. This is basically a way for Microsoft to ship preview, or let's say beta features into their production environment. So basically on your machine, on my machine, but they will be disabled by default. You and me and everybody that is watching, and even people that are not watching this video, by the way, they have the capability, the possibility to enable these experimental features or not. With experimental features, you can test things out. So let's say if you want to install Windows fonts, for example. At the moment, while I'm recording this video, fonts is an experimental feature that you can enable or disable. If you don't enable it, you're not able to install Windows fonts using Winget. To do that, type in Winget settings. It will open the settings file, which is a JSON file. In the experimental section, you should add fonts and you should set it to true. And voila, fonts are now available. That's pretty easy, right? I would like to mention though, that although experimental features are super cool, don't build your productive life on it, because Microsoft allows themselves the right to add new experimental feature whenever they want, but also to remove them whenever they want. It is rare, but keep it in mind because it is possible. Talking about Winget settings, this is a gold mine. This file, you can configure a lot of different things. You can actually configure completely your Winget installation. There's so much that can be done in this file. It deserves to have a whole separate, unique video. Let me know if you would like to see that, by the way. One thing that you can actually do in the settings file is you can actually change the display of the progress bar and enable 6 tiles so you can see icons in your terminal. You have different choices. I choose rainbow because I just thought it was the best one. Which one did you choose, by the way? One additional feature that Winget has to offer that blew my mind and completely changed how I actually use package management in general, and basically how I also provision my own systems. It's the capability of Winget to be able to export all of the applications and import them somewhere else. And if you want to see how I managed to migrate all my applications from my old laptop to a new laptop, I recommend you watch this video right here.